Okay, so here we are. I went and I rearranged some things. Um, this is from a blueprint. It's the basic starter set blueprint or whatever, all the basic parts. So, excuse me. Um, I don't have belts yet, so it would didn't lay the belts down, but at least it's more organized. Um, and then this is JD Plays' vehicle setup. We're going to go through and see which blueprints work, which blueprints don't. I'm not a big fan of reinventing the wheel. If it's out there and it's been done, it gives me a firm foundation to start from, and then I can figure my own stuff out from there. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so the shipyard is set to repair, um, and it's waiting on parts. Um, we have to build an assembly for vehicle parts. So right in here, if we just unpause that, that's going to make vehicle parts. Um, I don't see a point right this moment in opening up these three warehouses because we're not that far away. We're not belting it in, and we're not piping in well, we could pipe in the diesel fuel. Maybe we'll do that. Get that started. Get that filling up. So there's that. Research concrete we did. Establish a limestone mine and start mining limestone. So we've got the mine established. We just don't have the vehicles yet because we need the pieces parts for the vehicle to get the vehicle working. Now we could pull the digger off of here or the digger off of someplace else, but it's not going to be that long. We'll have a digger. We can go about our business. In the meantime, build a kiln and connect the rainwater harvester using a pipe. Okay, so I already have this figured out for this particular location. So we're just going to pop that down right there. I'm going to be it first. And we're going to get rid of this. Because we don't need that right now. There we go. So that's the rainwater connector. That is the kiln, and we're going to put it into storage. It needs a smokestack because it has exhaust. And then I went ahead and put a sorter up here. I'm going to put a sorter by each of my mines. This is what I was saying, that I think I've got it figured out. So this sorter is going to sort limestone, dirt, rocks, and coal. The reason I'm doing it filtered coal is because if any of these runs out of being able to sort the coal, it'll bring coal over. And we can use that coal right on site. So why not let it sort at all of the locations that have mines? So we're going to go ahead and unpause this and get it going. All right, get that going. We might as well unpause these bins here as well. But we're going to prioritize that one to urgent so that we can get our vehicles moving and get vehicles built. These guys should be, okay, they need concrete. So let's go see if we can't trade ourselves some concrete. Concrete, can we get some? Will you give us some concrete? How about you? Will you give us some concrete? There. That'll give us some concrete. That ought to give us plenty of concrete. for what we need. And it's just a matter of getting it over there and getting it built. Now, this says that this is full. I've got it set to keep empty. Will it deliver? I don't know. Will it deliver what we ordered if this is capped off, if this is full? So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here and we're going to rearrange these again. We're going to start burning scrap iron first, because we have scrap iron stored over here. If we can get rid of the scrap iron, then we can make some room, get the concrete maybe, and go from there, right? Oh, well, what are we building? Oh, okay, so we got the wood over there. We're just waiting on the other stuff. That's fine. So how much do we need? We still need a little less than 20. But it is making them. Is this one making any? No, because it needs concrete and it doesn't have concrete. Blah, blah, blah. There comes the concrete. So it'll get there. It will get there. All right. Speed that up. In the meantime, where are we at? I've got the tree guy clearing around the farm so that we can put another farm down here when the time comes. Because we're going to need a second farm. We keep getting more people in. We got a bunch of workers. They're not doing much of anything right now, but they will be doing stuff as soon as we... You know what? Let's pause this so that all of our stuff goes to the stuff that we need to get done, and then we can go from there. All right, he's 5 away. Is that 5? Really? Oh, that's right. These guys can only carry 4 at a time, I think. All right, so there it is. Start producing vehicle parts. Start producing vehicle parts. So it just needs the stuff. And we're making the stuff. And we have the stuff in storage. So it should start making vehicle parts, and then it should make the other vehicles. I also got it making a couple of extra trucks, just because we need the extra trucks. And then we should have our digger soon enough. And we'll take that over and plop it into our limestone mine, and then we won't need anybody else's concrete anymore, because we will have our own. I think we're going to prioritize this, 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 and this over this. We'll get back to that. We'll get this first because that's what we need for concrete. Good, more construction parts. So we got that going. So now we got to wait for this to build. Let's look at research. And we are here on the research, right? Where are we on the research? We are right here. All right, so I really tell me what you want, what you really want. Conveyor belts. So we've got to do these 4 things to get conveyor belts. So that's what we're going to do. Add to queue. So copper, rubber, construction, and conveyor belts. Then we might as well grab ramps. Then it's going to tell us we got to do groundwater and fuel stations. So we might as well grab those 2. And then we might as well grab irrigated farm, and crop rotation. Get those started. And then we can worry about advanced concrete later. It's going to want settlement water soon. So let's grab settlement water. We can always go back if we're getting ahead of ourselves. Oh, you know what? No. So we got to go back and remove these, because after we get belts, we want lifts and balancers. Then we can worry about the rest of this stuff. All right, so this. This. Then we can go back and get ramps. And then we can get fuel station, groundwater, irrigated farm, crop rotation, and then settlement water. Smart conveyor routing, I don't need right now. You know, it would certainly be nice though, I guess. Have all the conveyor belt stuff. 4, 5, 6. Or 6. 6. And then add that 7, 8, 9, 10. And then that. All right. How's that? I think that's good enough. What do we got? Science. What did we study? We studied copper. Now it's going to tell us make copper, isn't it? Not yet. It's not. Huh. Okay. Fine. So, what are we up to up here? Okay, we got almost all of it built. We'll do that for that. How close are we on this? We can't do it. Well, at least this will be filling up because it's raining. And this is a high priority, so that'll get done. Where are we at with the vehicles? There we go. We get all these guys established. How are we doing down here on leveling things out? Looks like we're doing pretty good, making pretty good progress. Speed this up. As soon as we get the concrete going, we can go ahead and go back and reopen the ship. What are we, 16? We're 34 away. Come on, you guys. Do your job. What are you waiting on? Concrete and concrete. Fine. Trade with village. There we go. That should have given us enough, hopefully. That we can... Oh, so it does come in from there. All right, so they do have to come and get it from there. That's fine. I don't mind. We just got to remember to not cut him off from everybody. So now, how are we doing here? That should be enough to get this guy going. Because once he's going, it's just a matter of getting the digger over there. And the digger's being worked on now. Where are we at? 28. You know what? Until we're sure. Okay, it is paused. Nine more. And then we'll prioritize this. Because we do need to be able to sort what's coming out of here. I don't care if it goes into bins, it needs to be sorted though. So what I did to redo this is I backed up a couple of saves because I've got the auto save, it's on for every 15 minutes. So I backed up a few saves and then just moved forward and redid all of this. So it didn't cost me all the materials to tear it down and rebuild it. We're not going to do that often. I just wanted to get this rearranged in a decent enough order that it's, you know, kind of useful. All right, so you're now doing your thing. You just got to wait on limestone, and limestone's got to wait on a digger, and there's the digger. So assign a digger and assign a couple of trucks. Mine tower has no available designations, blah, blah, blah. Which mine tower? Baloney. Let's look. Oh, because it can't reach. Okay, okay. Edit area. Come down here a little bit. And then we will mine from 4. How's that? Does that make you happy? Now you can get to it? Is that what the deal was? You couldn't get to it? What's this truck got in it? Got any limestone in it? 1 limestone. Alright. But it can't do much because this sorter's not built yet. We need 36 pieces. Well, trade with village because I know we're going to need it. There we go. That should give us our 36. What do we got going here? Back. Pick up not compatible sorting plant. Okay. Yeah, well we're working on that. Construction 2, synthetic rubber. Good. We just got to finish the sorting plant, that's all. Once that's built, we can go back to repairing the dock. Because the next thing we need to do is find an oil well and a ship. We're almost to belts. We're going to wait until we get all 3, the belts and the sorters and everything, and the lifts, before we go back and redo this so that we can hook them all up at the same time. And the reason I went back and got this, and I grabbed it from when I first started checking out update 3, I built this, and it's got the stacked belts and stuff. I just didn't want to go back and redo that, so that's why I went back and got this. But I wanted this to be a little neater than the hodgepodge we had trying to get in between the trees. So that's where that came in at. All right, come on. How close are we? 12 more. How are you guys doing? Are you supplied? Let's boost it real quick. Mine control tower has no mining designations in this area. All right, we'll get to that in just a second. All right, that should be enough to provide these guys with what they need. Yep, there it is. There's the sorter. Now let's go back here. Concrete production complete. Reward. We get concrete, we get vehicle parts. Okay. Just a second. All right. Repair the shipyard. Build a rubber factory. Build a copper mine. Okay, we can do that. Mine control designation has... Okay, so you've done your job? Is that the deal? You're saying you're done? You're not done. We're going to move this down further. So that you can take all of this I don't want you doing this green stuff yet, because green stuff is put down. I don't want put down, I want pick up. There we go. Because I want that stuff over here. That should do that. Okay. Ding. What do we got? Repair the ship and set sail. All right, we can do that now. We can start this back up. Because now we're making concrete. Should be making concrete anyway. Yes, we're making concrete. All right. Synthetic rubber, build and connect the rubber maker. All right, we can do that. Easy peasy. So, see, this is where I was talking about how it stacks it. You got to go here, and then you got to go up here to get to assembly 2s. That's fine, but I don't know. I liked it better when they were next to each other. But that's me personally. It's not my game. I'm not designing it. So, yeah. All right. So there's the connectors. There's the belts. All right. Back to rubber. Rubber maker. And the rubber maker, mine tower has no... What? Has no available destination to be mined in its area. How is that not mineable? You're standing right there next to it. How can you not get to that? I'm confused. Oh, because it did a slope. We can fix that. Why is it not leveling? Right? Shouldn't that level? No. All right. How about mining? F4. No, why is it doing slope? I want it mining. Why is it doing slope? All right, let's do this. Let's do that and do this. This is what you're supposed to be doing, dummy. All right. Storage and logistics. Da 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 da. All right, shipyard. We're repairing the ship. Let's get back to making this rubber maker. Oil. Rubber maker. All right, we need coal in. And we need diesel in. I want the coal to be up higher so that we can run the diesel into it. I want to give myself some space so I can pull another pipe out of there. And then we want pipe here to here. This is the same as that, correct? Yes, it's the same as that. We can go here to here. And then we need storage. Condoms. And loose storage. And we're going to go straight in with it. Coal. Keep full. Unpause all of this. Right? That should have that working. I could probably, you know what? I could probably do this. Now, unpause that. And then we do that into there. And that into there. Until this coal keep full. Just have one over here. That'll keep that busy until this runs out. All right. How are you doing now? You doing what you're supposed to be doing? Good. All right. Build a rubber maker. Done. Repairing the shipyard. Working on it. Right? Not paused. Establish a copper mine and start mining copper ore. Blast furnace. Yakety yak. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Let's go over here. So, blueprints. Grab my ore sorter because are we in build mode? We are in build mode. Okay. We're going to put it down. We are going to start to build the ore sorter. The rest of it we're not going to build because we don't have all the belts. Yakety yakety yak. And I don't want this. I don't want that because that is not the blueprint I want. I want smelters, copper, Mark 1. because it has the other stuff in it that we want. Will it fit? I think it'll fit right here. All right. Now, let's look at this. It says ore at the bottom belt, coal at the second belt, slag at the top belt. The ore at the bottom. So we want this to be copper ore. And we want to change this to copper. Add product, copper, right? So then that'll be copper out of there, and then the rest of them are the junk. This should be coal. Yep, that'll be coal. That'll be coal. And that'll be coal. Because what will happen is any scrap coal will come in, and then we'll keep coal coming in, right? And then that's copper. Ooh, a hound dog. All right. How many people got tired of me doing that before? So we're going to run a belt from copper to copper, and then from coal we're going to back that up. We're going to go from coal right? So that'll be coal coming into there, copper coming into there, and then slag coming out of there. What is this one? This is our slag. So we want to come out of there. At that level. And we're going to come over here, the two spaces in front of our slag, because we're going to put a lift in there. Once we get the lifts, we're going to put a lift in there. That way these guys can drive under all of this and access everything as needed. I wonder, the only place it's going is here, so it doesn't matter. But now we have to reverse this belt so that this comes down and over to our slag. Everything else should be set the way it needs to be. And then that's going to bring in get rid of iron. We've learned that one the hard way multiple times. Set recipes, get rid of that. Copper and scrap copper. Copper primarily, scrap copper if we do it. And then there's that. So that's copper, scrap copper. Copper, 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 and copper. Okay, so now we just need agua, right? And then that's going to go into a storage unit, right? So now we just need water and building a rainwater collector. Which way is it coming in? It's coming in from this side. So if we go here and we rainwater connector it in. A rainwater collector, not connector. Right? That should be the whole copper system. But we don't need the belts yet because we're not ready for the belts. And we're only going to do one set. To start. Because it only wants one set. To start. And then once we got the production going to support that, then we can worry about it. But I'm not going to do the belts until we got the lifts and we got the prioritize the routers and everything else. All right, so that's copper. We're building the rubber maker. Should be building the rubber maker. And we should be, okay, so we fixed the ship. Now we just got to put fuel in the ship. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I want to take another generator. And I want to put a generator right there. But I want to flip it. Because they're too close together. But I want to do this as a planning mode. Because I don't want to build it yet. We don't need it yet. There's conveyor belts. Okay, but we do need to bring down the fuel line. So, fuel line. There's the lifts. And can we go over or under? We're going to go under, I guess, apparently. And then we're going to go along there to right around here. So let's go give ourselves a space. Is that? We want to line up right about there. Then I want to come around to there. And then we want to go here to here to here. Okay. Unpause. All right, so that should bring our fuel in. All right, ship, fill it with diesel, load it with crew. Build and connect the rubber maker. We're waiting on the rubber maker to be built. Establish copper, blah, blah, blah. That's just a matter of waiting for it to be built, right? Yes. So now we just got to wait for that to build. Meanwhile, we want balancers and smart routing. And then once we get those, we can finish the blueprint up and have that automated and free our trucks up. Suppose we can unpause both of those. All right, rubber maker has no recipe selected. It's a rubber maker, but I know we're not making sulfur right now. How's that doing? Yeah, we're doing good on oil. Can we? No, we can't. We don't have enough pieces parts. That's fine. Speed this up. I keep slowing it down because I don't want it to get ahead of me. But it's kind of gotta. How we doing over here? We're almost got that filled in, don't we? Oh yeah, almost. And then we'll send you over here to square that up. All right, synthetic rubber, we get concrete, we get electronics. All right, fill the crew, load the chip, build the copper. Spill the wine, save that girl. All right, can we now? No, we can't. We don't have the pieces parts. I guess we can unpause this. Why is it paused? Because we didn't have enough people earlier or something? We can unpause that now. Let it work. That's why our oil's not going, our fuel's not going anywhere, because we're not making any. All right, so power. Well, we put this in. I guess we should build it. I just didn't want to build it until we needed it because it does cost maintenance. Everything costs maintenance, I guess. Now, the belts and the pipes and stuff all cost electricity, I know. All right. You guys are running like mad. Why are you running like mad? Because you're not building the stuff I want you to build. You getting there? All right, that's all built. Can we? We cannot. How about this? Oh, you're built. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas a little bit, sorta, almost. Maybe we need to put another couple of jennies in. Guess we got to put another couple of jennies in so that we're where we need to be on that. How about you? Can we? No, we can't. But what we can do is we can go over here and make you guys go faster. That'll help. And how's the ship? It's not fueled up. All right, there's the balancers. Now we just need smart conveyors. Awesome. Man, come on. How are we doing on Unity? 0.45. I mean, we could, not right now, but we could start another assembler. These guys are cooking along. They're, you know, they're making 12 at a time. So we're okay, I think. Low food supply. Yeah, see, this is where we're gonna have to start getting in here and getting another farm built. We still got some trees to remove. But we get the trees removed and we can go right here. Once again, thank you, JD. Line that up and that can go down. Something is in the way, no kidding. Bunch of trees for one thing. But we'll be able to put that down and then we'll have 2 farms, which should be plenty for our people. Alright, seriously, I prioritize that. And high prioritize that. Because we want those 2 built. And we want that built. We want them built before the copper. I'm not worried about the copper, although the copper is essentially built. What do we need? We got coal, we just don't have copper. Because these guys can't sort copper yet, so we got to put it in the thing. So once we get the ship up and going, then we can prioritize getting the sorter done. We got to get this fuel first. So we want these lines so that that can get coal without having to go get it. And we want that to get coal without having to go get it, although we are doing good on rubber. I've got this marked to keep empty, so eventually we will clear the stuff out of it. What's our thing? Oh, load food. Yeah, I know that. Transport belts. Come on, baby. You are almost there. 24 more pieces, which is 1 round of production for each of you. I almost said, do you need more concrete? But we're making our own, so screw it. What we ought to be doing, though, what we will do afterwards, is we need to get these guys running so they can make construction too. All right, there it is. We have all of our conveyor stuff. And we have our pipe. We're not filling yet though. Why? Oh, because it's filling the pipe. Okay, it's filling. It's a filling. It's a filling the pipe. Okay. We got that. Now, in order to make the belts, we need the construction twos. So, resume construction on that. Set recipe, construction 2. Resume the construction on that. We'll up the priority on this because we need the copper. So then that should get all of that going. So we can go back over here and we'll go to Concrete Bob. All right, and we'll line this back up. And that'll put all the belts in. But we want to get rid of this. Because that's hooked in the wrong place. There we go. All right, so there's all the belts there. And we'll go through these in a second. Research completed. Fuel station. Is the ship loaded yet? Ship has diesel. Load the crew. Crew is loaded. All right, we'll go here first. So, there's the belts for that. Let's look at this. Basically what we're doing here. So we got coming out of the sorter into each of the bins. Then I'm raising it up 5 for the coal to come into the coal input. This is the one coming out of the sorter. This is just a standby that will keep full. This is a priority input from the sorter so that we don't use this up. That goes in, goes down and in for the coal. And then we have the same thing here for the limestone. So there's that one. Prepare ship and set sail. Select reward. Potato dry out, blah, blah, blah. Let's... World structures. Okay. Location explored. We found our oil rig. Hooray! Alright, now we have the drilling technology. Now, here's the question. Can we go there? Let's explore that while we're up here. Waste not, want not on the fuel. Alright. So there is the belts that we're going to put in for that one. Ooh, we're really hurting on food. Alright, can we build this puppy now? Yes, we can. It looks like. Let's get this thing put in. And let's get this resumed. Battle. Okay. So mine has no designation in its area. Okay, we'll get to you in a minute. Tree harvester, no trees to harvest. Well, hell, I can arrange that. you cut those. All right, I know that doesn't have, pause this. All right, so this is produce copper. Established copper mine, produce copper. Well, we're just waiting on that. Okay, it is, the sorter is built. All right. Cool. So, let's go to, that was ore sort Bob. Why wouldn't it pick it up? I don't know. Let us temporarily put it down over here. We're in build mode because we want to get rid of all of that. Right? Right. Okay. So then, what? And paste. Right, so that's got all the lifts and blah, blah, blah. It's missing that lift there. All right. We just got to put a lift in there. And that's a down lift. So, groundwater pump, transports, fuel station, bridges, all right. So that one is a downward one. So, transport, U-shaped lift, from there to there. Right, so that's going to get it into there. Now, we can go here, and we can go to smelters, copper 1, and get this lined up now. That should add all the rest of the belts and the lifts and the what have yous. Right? That's done. All right, so there is basically the same setup. We're coming out with the copper into the bottom, the coal over to here and over to here, up and in, simply because I reused the same blueprint. And then everything else just stacks in the ore bins. And all of these are set to refine, or set to sort whatever they're set, whatever mine they are, plus the other 3 materials. Okay? Now, eventually we'll put a sorter here, but not right now. So there's that, there's that. We've got that one done. We've got that one done. Now let's get down here and deal with this mess. So the first thing we want is that same sorter. So let's do this. No, let's not do that, because this one is actually right. I do believe. If we line that up, everything else I think is set up. Yes. So this one is correct, because then it remembers all of these settings. The coal to coal, stone to stone, dirt to dirt, iron to iron. Same deal, comes up, goes in, comes out. All right? And then this is JD's upgradable smelters. Number 1 for iron. Pop that in. All the belts should be placed at this point. So that's done. Last but not least, well, not last but not least, because we got that one over there too. Next, we're going to go to this blueprint. This one is convoluted, but it is nice because it does all the stuff. Flip this around and line it up here. Only thing is, this is set up before the changes to formulas. So, put this down, you'll see it has concrete here. This would be brick in the blueprint. We don't want this one because we're not using it anymore. Because where the brick is would be the formula, but we're not using that formula now. So it doesn't matter. I just substituted brick in, and it'll take the brick over. Now, all of the priorities and everything are already set in this. So what it will do is it's going to make mechanical parts, it's going to make electronic parts, and prioritize sending them over here to maintenance so that maintenance gets them first. Now, the only thing we got to put into this, other than the stuff that's got to come into the warehouses, is iron. And I want to allow space for whatever to get in here. So we're going to do flat lift. All the way up. Right? That's the max that we can run the belts. So then I'm going to do belt from there. All the way up. See if that will go down to there. And it will. So that's going to give anything that's got to get in here space to get in and get through. Theoretically. So that's that. And this is all taken care of. And these are all, this is why I wanted to get the lifts, because these belts are stacked level belts. They're only 3 high, but it's still stacked. And we got lifts to all of those. Right? So that is everybody except this guy. And that was vehicle parts, depot 1, turn it that way. The only thing we're missing at this point is the belts. So that puts in the belts. So there is everything laid down. We just have to tell it what to build. Okay? So we got to produce copper, which is what we're waiting on. Establish, mine copper, produce copper. Round pump. Okay. So that's where we stand at this point. We got to produce copper. Where are we? Right here. And we should be producing copper at this point. Because these guys should be able to sort. It should be going to this. We can, I suppose, wake this up. Wake this up. That's sorted ore, copper coming in, coal coming in. Only as far as the first one, because that's really all the farther we're going with it. Over to here. And then out of here into here. And then out of here and into here. And then pipe, pipe. Pipe. Water coming in. Right? So we get that built, and then that will be producing copper all on its own. We can get the rest of it done. Now, the thing is, we are not making yet level 3, or level, what is it, level 3 construction. Urgent this and get it built. Because all these belts need the level 3. And once we get to level 3, we can just let it build all the belts. We've got to set crop for this, don't we? That's growing potatoes. What is this growing? Under construction, so therefore nothing. Oh, we don't have crop rotation yet, so we're stuck with potatoes. So this simply just needs to be built. We gotta get food. This is absolutely urgent right now. Can we? No, we can't. All right, we are going to pause that as far as materials until we get this farm built, because we need that farm. We're going to be starving people. All right, let's go check this out. So we got the oil derrick there. We don't want to start using it yet. Explore here. Come on, get this built. You only need 10 more parts. Can we? Okay, there it is. It is built. Now that'll start growing food. We'll have to switch these over to irrigated farms. We'll have to upgrade them. And I think we're going to do that. Oh, it's going to take 45. We'll keep it building right now. We're gonna, can we stop the upgrade? Let's stop the upgrade. Ah, we get the cargo ship. Hooray. Alright, so those are the two technologies we were really hoping for. So we're done with those. What do we got here? Copper. We just got to produce copper. Where's our copper? Copper. Why is it not coming out? There we go. That's better. Now we're producing copper. We just got to produce 10 of them. So, pi. How are we doing now that we got a farm built? 1.7 months. We got 1 month of food left. We'll just, people will have to buy it, I guess. And then once those are built, we'll be producing copper. We'll unpause this. Did we up the priority on this and this? We did not up the priority on this one. It doesn't matter. This and this are the ones that matter. All right, there we go. You're headed over there. That'll get our copper. Did get our copper. No, not... As soon as this bings, we're gonna swipe it. I don't know why it's going over there first when this is the priority. All right, urgent. Through you. That's supposed to take precedence over everything, is my understanding. You better go where you're supposed to go. I see you. What? Because these already have parts, I guess, so it's making them go first. Only thing I can figure. We want these done first, people. Then we'll go back and restart everybody else. I just want to get the copper done. Why is that so hard to understand? Oh, it's. I'm stupid. I turned this off. I stopped that. And we need the twos, not the ones. That's why it was doing what it was doing. There we go. That's better. All right, there we go. Now it'll make copper. Looks like our food is coming back up. We're getting back to normal. As soon as we get the copper, we're going to call it an episode. Farm fertility, I know. We'll set crop rotation later. Right now we just need the food. Alright, why? Where are you at? You got everything you need, right? Waiting for products and put copper. What are you waiting for? Water. Don't have water. Bargaining figures. No, I don't want you urgent. I want you normal. I want the water urgent. It's got the copper, just doesn't have the water. Pause. Build this damn pipe. There we go. Alright. So. Slag, we got reward for that. Setup and conveyor, we got a reward for that. Construction 2, got a reward for that. Produce copper, we got a reward for that. Cool. Next episode, we got to do a coal mine, which we're already doing. We can do that right now. All we got to do is go over here and pause that puppy. Select that reward. All right, we got to build a fuel station, and we got to build water for the settlement. That's next episode. There we go, guys. We got it going. I know this went a little long because I was kind of dense on some things, but we got it figured out. All right, so can you go here? All right, we're going to call it an episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.